Sounds right. Sounds right. Sounds right.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wellness Files. We are so excited to have you today. We are going to be chatting about post-cancer recovery and autoimmune disease and all health topics. So we have an awesome panel today. We are going to have 4 of us. We're going to be sharing a lot of our own experiences, and feel free in the comment section to drop any questions that you have. We're going to be joined by Amy with Parawomenradio and Rose from what it is Feel Good University, and she has another YouTube channel, and Nickole Atkinson, as you know her as everybody's friend that they wish they had. And I do want to say today we are not talking true crime. So please be respectful in the comment section and do not ask any questions that are not appropriate. I'm going to go ahead and bring up all of the ladies. Hey.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yay. So where should we start? I want to start with Nickole, because you are a breast cancer survivor, fellow breast cancer survivor, just like me. And we want to hear a little more about your story and how you found out that you were diagnosed with breast cancer. You can start from the beginning.
I found out literally 4 days after I had Jackson. I mean, that's when I found it. I didn't know until he was about 6 weeks old that that's actually what it was. You know, that first shower you take after having a baby, and you know you're washing everything good because you were in the hospital or whatever. I found a lump and thought it was something, and my husband thought I was crazy at first because, you know, I just had a baby. My milk had just come in. That's actually part of the reason I found it, because of where it was sitting. Had I not had Jackson, I wouldn't have found it probably until they would have found out that's how I died. Yeah, that's how I found it. He went through some challenges when he was first born, so it was kind of like put on the back burner for about 6 weeks, because when he was 11 days old, he had to have cortation of the aorta. So we were in and out of the hospital a lot. And then when I finally got to like focusing on this lump that I found, I got diagnosed on October 24th of 2019, and he was born on September 17th. So,
and I have up on the screen some of the types of cancer here. One thing I noticed when I was diagnosed, a lot of people would ask, "What stage are you? What stage are you?" But really, one of the most important questions is, what type do you have? Because that depends on what type of treatment you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. So mine was HER2 positive. It was estrogen and progesterone negative. Like there was a tiny, like I think it was like 2%, but it was basically HER2 positive. And it was a long 2 years. Not gonna lie. So.
Yeah, Nickole, I watch a channel on YouTube, Eamon and Beck, and have you ever seen that channel?
No.
It's about, they're like a van life couple, and they're from Canada, and they just, you know, they travel around the world and live in their van, and then they bought a cabin, and they were remodeling, and Eamon is the man, Beck is the woman, and Beck had a friend that unalived herself, and she was really, really close to her, and right after that happened, she went through like all this trauma and this grief, and she was really worried about her friend and all of this stuff. And then she developed breast cancer, and she will often say that she felt like all the daily stress that she was going through and all the worries and all of that. Do you buy into the
yeah,
belief that you can, like, stress cause it?
Stress causes it plays a huge factor in it. I mean, a lot of you know my story, but prior to that, I had, like, the year before cancer diagnosis, like it was, for lack of a better word, a shit show.
Yeah.
I had a friend pass away and her children, and then my grandmother that raised me 4 months later passed. And then we found out I miscarried a baby in there, and then we found out we were pregnant with Jackson. And then his was a rough pregnancy. I had hyperemesis the whole time I was pregnant with him. So I had to go in 3 times a week and get IV fluids because literally water wouldn't even stay down. But it was like, that was a thing with me with all 4 pregnancies. Why I had 4 children, don't ask me, because you would think that would have been enough to be like, no, don't have enough. And then he got sick right after he was born. So it was like just everything, I think, compiled. For me personally, there is no breast cancer history in my family, and I got tested for all of the genes. I do not have the BRCA gene. There's no history in that. However, I've seen multiple things that, like, I've taken in my life since then that they're like, oh, this could have caused cancer. Zantac being one of them. I ate that stuff like candy with all 4 pregnancies because I always got really bad heartburn. I was on the depot shot. Like, there were so many things that could have played into it. But do I believe stress is a factor? Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, something interesting my OBGYN brought up to me after I had 2 kids back to back. And he told me, be careful and watch out, because many women that have children back to back, their body is so focused on nurturing that child. And for me, it's almost like being pregnant 2 years, you know? And he said, once you have your next, your child, your body gets confused and doesn't know what to do anymore because it's not nurturing. So it begins to attack itself. And I thought that was really interesting, and did further research. And Harvard actually is doing a study on that. And at it, 2 years later, after having the kids, I was diagnosed with MS. That's something Amy also struggles with. And then the breast cancer from also Nickole, the depot shot, which it's frustrating. We can pinpoint a lot of things that we think caused it, but it's interesting that, like, it doesn't leave a final answer for us of why. And that becomes a mental struggle for a lot of us.
Right. And someone asked if I'm a smoker. No, I'm not. I never have been. So,
Rose, did you want to ask anything in regards to what Nickole was saying?
I just wanted to kind of add on to what Amy was saying and just ask. I know you were a hairdresser before. Do you feel like, because I have my license too. We have some mutuals. I used to manage the Timnath Northern Colorado store. So I know how stressful that is. And I know that you were running your own store, correct?
say that
Do you
again.
think? Oh, I was just saying, really, it's really stressful, like working in the hair industry and running your own store and stuff. Do you feel like that you had prolonged periods where you were really stressed out because,
I think
like, years before?
so. I had, like, and this, a lot of people, like, they only know what they know, right? So people, like, make all their judgments, and people are going to continue to do it until the day we die about people. I was not raised by my parents. I was raised by my grandparents on my dad's side. So that was a struggle. It's been a struggle throughout my whole life. There's just so many things. So yes, in answer to the question, yes, they're, like, for the first time in my life since we've moved to Tennessee, I only have to worry about my 4 balls. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And congratulations on your move.
Thank you. I come from a huge family. I am one of 10 children. I'm the second oldest.
Wow.
I had to have heart surgery when I was a baby. I was a preemie. Jackson and I kind of had similar heart surgeries, but a little bit different. So we have matching scars. Not a lot of people can say that. I mean, it's not something to brag about, but it is kind of cool. And then just like growing up, I was married previously, and that was a rocky relationship. We were together for 8 years. He was a drug addict and alcoholic. And yeah, stress definitely, I think, plays a factor in anything that you do, though. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and as far as
And
Absolutely.
I still do it for friends and family, and I still carry my license. But there was one time in my career in the hair world that I was overseeing 25 salons. So, yes.
oh
Oh my
my
gosh.
Lord. One's enough to make you go crazy? I cannot imagine. Oh
I
my
was a
gosh.
supervisor, so yeah, I had all the way in Colorado. I had all the way up to Estes Park, down to Westminster, Thornton area.
Oh,
all the
did
way
you have Gail's area?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Newport.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, those were
Yeah.
all my salons before Gail took them.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Yeah. I managed one after Gail or whatever. Yeah. It's a small world with hair, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That is
Sorry, I
funny.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's really funny. It felt like that area in Colorado was a small area anyway.
It's
Like
not.
maybe Colorado's a small state.
No, I mean, it's just there's like, I don't know how to explain. There's a lot of little towns, so it seems like it's small, but it's really not. Like on any given day when I was doing that, I would drive anywhere from 200 to 350 miles.
That is crazy. I could not do that.
I'm happy I don't have to do it anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame you. Oh, can I ask you one question really quick too? Because
Sure.
I wasn't sure. Are you still taking Thrive, selling Thrive? Like, do you feel like that has been a good nutritional? If you want to talk about it, it's up to you. But do you think that's been a good nutritional path to help you just sustain the healing and the stress? Like, do you feel like it's helped you? I'm just curious.
So
I love the shakes.
yes, and yes, it has. However, I am no longer taking the products, and I am no longer with the company.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
It's a
I
recent
love the
development.
shakes.
I started dabbling like 9 months ago. A friend of mine introduced me to another company, and it's called Shop Club, and I started because they have so many products. I started with their laundry soap and their cleaners, and I'm actually not taking any of them. I'm not taking any supplements. I had some health issues probably about 4 months ago where I literally went off everything because we were trying to figure out what was going on with me, and I just decided to take a different path. Like, there's no ill harm there. There's no, like, nothing bad happened. It was just that, like, life changed, and I'm on to something new because I am passionate about it. So
Actually,
Will
Nickole,
you
I
put
just
a
pulled
link
it
in the? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just going to ask if she would put a link to
I,
your company in there so I could look at it.
So the
Yeah,
best way to contact me is she's got a drop form for you guys to fill out. If you fill out,
Yeah.
click on that and fill that out, I will contact you and get you any information that you want or need.
Can I ask you? I'm really into beef tallow right now. Are you selling any kind of beef tallow?
Because I am so new, I honestly can't answer that honestly and truthfully. I'm pretty sure we have over 500 products. Like I said, I started with the laundry soap and the cleaning products, but like we sell makeup, we sell skincare. There's supplements. They have
Is there collagen?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I need something new.
Yeah, no, there's lots of stuff.
I
so.
want to know, I just put this in the chat, you guys, because
I feel like
it's
I'm
not
looking
like
around.
a website that's like NicoleAtkinson.com or anything. So I'm going to keep this pinned up for a little bit. And this is the form that you're going to fill out to reach out to Nickole to learn more about the products. And Nickole, we were talking about this off camera. Can you explain a little bit about how this is great for people who have had health issues and going through maybe autoimmune disease or post-cancer recovery?
So for me, the reason I started fully looking into the products was obviously I had a friend reach out to me and be like, hey, I found this new stuff and I think you should take a look at it. there are so many toxins in literally everything that is in our house. Like, it's just the nature of the beast. So I started looking into it because I'm like, my husband has very, very sensitive skin. We have to be very careful about the lotions that we use. Like, when I met him 13 years ago, like, I stopped wearing perfume because his skin's that sensitive. Like, certain deodorants don't work. Like, there's just so many things where they have, and I started looking into this because I was like, okay, well, maybe we can use it and maybe it will be better for us, because like, I'm one of those people that I like my house to smell clean, but I don't like the aftermath of using Clorox and stuff like that. So this will give you that without those toxins. It's cleaner, it's greener, they're all natural. They're 100% guaranteed. Like, if you buy something and you don't like it, you just send an email or call customer service, because there's an actual customer service line, and you talk to someone and they take care of you. So it's, since I've been with them, and I've been a customer for, like I said, about 9 months. I actually started last summer, if I'm being honest, because I saw my friend post this product. It's called Focus. And I know you all can relate to this if you have had any autoimmune diseases or cancer, or gone through chemo or any type of treatment. The brain fog, oh my God. Like, it's like pregnancy brain times 100. So I actually, that's what made me start like looking into it, because she posted something about it, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I love my Thrive and it helped to a certain extent, but only certain things help so much, right? So I reached out to her about that, because I was like, I need something to make me focus. I'm very ADD. Never been diagnosed, self-diagnosis, but my children have been diagnosed with it. My older two, one takes medication for it. So I'm totally like, I literally am a squirrel all the time. I'm surprised I haven't like scrolled off and went and done something else while we're sitting here talking. It's that bad. So
No, that happens all the time. You know what? I have been told, and I tried it. I don't know if I can tell a difference, but they say taking the mushroom like gummies. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's a very expensive mushroom. Lion's mane. Have you guys ever tried that?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it.
It's expensive, but it's supposedly supposed to help with brain fog, but there's so much out on the market, you know.
There isn't. The other thing about this was it was cost effective. Like, for me, it's not super expensive. Like, it was literally like I was just trading the fact that I'm going to Sam's Club or Walmart or Target to buy cleaning products versus having it delivered to my door.
Do you have any other stuff with you? Do you want to show us?
I got a couple of things. So this is what got me was the laundry soap. It comes like, it's a tiny little bottle, not a big jug. And it takes literally 10 mLs. So it's one pump and it'll clean one load of laundry for you.
At the front door.
Yeah, that's like, it's just, and it takes up less room. I was a big component of using OxyClean in my laundry, especially after COVID. So I use Mellow Bright now, and it's a healthier version of it because there's not all the toxins in it. It's literally one pod, you throw it in there. My husband, because of his skin, we really like the lotion. The Renew Intensive Skincare Therapy doesn't leave your skin like oily and greasy. So.
And that's for sensitive skin too?
I'm putting up
Okay, good. I have super sensitive skin, and I love cleaning products.
Does it say anything about eczema? My son really suffers with eczema.
It's really good for eczema. It's actually one of the things that it's known for. It's help with. And I'm not making any medical claims.
Right. None of us are doctors, just so y'all know. We're just
it's literally for
you. It's like, I'm scared we're going to get sued, but it's like, I want to be able to share with people what works for us and what doesn't work, what's a waste of money. One thing for me personally that has really helped is doing meditations. I don't know if you guys do meditation.
I do.
I do. I don't probably do it in the more like stereotypical way, but like I'm very much like I make sure I'm out in nature every single day. Or since we moved, it's kind of funny. So Colorado is very congested. Like there's a lot of people who live in Colorado, and there's a lot of people
Yeah.
who live in Tennessee, but like out here, there's land. So we by far have a lot more room. We
Yeah.
don't have, like, some of you probably see me go live and show you Bella or whatever, our dog, and people are going to ask.
Yeah.
No, she was not named after her. We had her before that. That was her name when we got her. We rescued her. Anyway, sorry, side tangent. But our yard,
Oh, you're like,
Lucy Rose named her child after her mom's dog.
our Madison's named
wait,
after
is
my
that
husband's
Gypsy's
dog.
dog?
Aurora is Christy's mom's dog's name. Sorry,
Was the
That's
dog
okay.
named before the baby?
the dog was named before the baby.
See, so when I met my husband, he had a Weimaraner named Madison, and then when we found out we were having our Madison, he wanted, because she was his world. Like literally, the man would have done anything for dog Madison. He would for his child. Like that's how she got her name. She's named after like his first love, which was his puppy.
Wow.
Well, I lost my Maybelline. She's my little dog in September, and I cry for her every day. Like I cry hard tears. She was my daughter, and I miss her. So yeah, I get it.
Mine
Well,
was
like-
when I was growing up. I had a dachshund named Cricket, and Cricket that was hard when Cricket passed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think therapy pets are a really good idea. Like, it should just be.
I
a-
went through like a big depression. I go through because I have autoimmune and I have fibromyalgia on top of MS, so I have constant flares. Like I'm just constantly flaring, and I go through this roller coaster of emotions where I get depressed and I feel sad, and I was also going through some other stuff, some domestic stuff. And she got me up out of bed every single day because I knew I had a little soul I needed to take care of. And they are helpful because you go through a depression. I mean, it's not just being sick, it's the mental stuff that goes with being sick all the time. Like not having the ability to make yourself feel better is really hard. And then it's really stressful too when you get better and people are like, y'all better? Like, yeah, until next time, I'm all better. It's frustrating. So the therapy dog really helps. It helps me.
Bella's like
I
my
love
therapy
dogs.
dog now. She was, I'll be honest, like I call her an asshole a lot of the time, and I tell her I don't like her. I love her though. I'm gonna be crushed when she passes. When we moved to Tennessee, Ken actually came out 2 months prior to us moving because he had to start his job. So Bella became, well, no, I guess my therapy animal, because she was my, the person that like made sure I got up every morning. I took care of the kids. I did all of the things. I stayed on my schedule. And now she follows me everywhere. She's literally right over here on the floor behind me.
Oh, I have two
Hi,
dogs
Bella.
about 5 feet behind me.
Well, I've got the little
Yeah,
bird.
we have had like 3 dogs, and my favorite one that we ever. Do you ever have like a pet that is just like your soulmate?
Yep, I have a
This
tattoo
one
of my
was,
dog.
This was my buddy, and like, I know it sounds crazy, but like sometimes I can even feel him like jump on the bed sometimes. Obviously he's passed, but it's
That's
like
not
just
crazy.
really hard to get through it, especially like when you depend on them when you're going through hard times. Are they like are there with you when you're going through something really shitty in life or really good times too?
Well, and animals, they're not assholes. Like they're literally not. They don't judge you. You literally could sit there and talk to them and call them. And not that I call my dog dirty names. I'll tell her she's an asshole because like this morning she got into a bag of chips that the kids left on the counter. And I'm like,
Well,
seriously,
that's an asshole move. So
but like they literally like they love you no matter what, and they
Yeah.
comfort you. Like,
and you think that you save them, but in reality, it always ends up where they save you. Because I got mine, I'm an ex-social worker, and one of my clients in Michigan was keeping her out on a breezeway in the middle of winter, and I was like, oh, and they're like, do you want her? And I was like, okay. I was gonna rehome her, but she ended up staying. So
So cute.
Yeah,
Can I ask? Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay.
I was just
I'm
gonna-
gonna play with the screen while you ask her questions. I'm gonna try to kind of add us together, but go ahead and talk.
Yeah, this is actually a question for you and Nicole. I was just curious, is there any dietary changes that you've made to like comfort you or like help you that have helped you? Like, are you the type of person that jumped off of gluten or you stay away from rice or do you know what I mean? Was there anything where you felt like you were more nourished or like that gave you energy or do you know what I mean? And that's for both of you guys if that's okay.
So for me, our household is almost, I will say like 75% gluten free because Ken is actually, he can't do gluten. I know that like I like bread and wheat. It does not like me. When I will eat it, but like sometimes when I eat it, I get very bad digestional tract issues. So I do feel like that plays a factor in it. And water, like I will advocate for water till the day I die, simply because I struggle with it every single day drinking it. But I will tell you, the days that I get my water in, I feel 10 times better than if I didn't drink my water. So
That's a good
staying
thing. I need more water.
staying hydrated is huge. And as far as like dietary, like things I've changed as I've gotten older, I love spicy. Spicy does not love me. So yeah, I mean, everybody's body is different, but definitely looking for cleaner, greener. We don't do a lot of organic, but we do grow a garden and we do lots of fruits and vegetables. Jackson, our youngest, is pretty much a vegetarian. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything's going to come in season, so it's about ready to be fruit and vegetable time. I'm excited. I love fruits and vegetables.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I've always wondered this because I'm not in the, like, I'm in the social media world, but not to the extent that some of you are. Why do you use the initials?
Like Rose Z? Is it like that?
No, I just put, do you have questions for NA? It's just faster to type. It's just faster instead of typing Nickole Atkinson, or it's just faster. And
I was just curious because I've always been referred to.
You know, it must be really strange for you because, like, when I popped on today, I was like, backstage, I was like, "Oh, I'm really excited to talk to you. This is really exciting for me." And you're like, "Yeah, I wish I could say the same thing." It must be really weird that we all know you. Like, we know parts of your.
I mean, I've heard you guys' names, but it's not like, it's funny too because everybody's like, "Well, send me a video or something. Did you see this?" No, I do not go search out anything. I do not like. Don't take this wrong. I don't stalk anybody's stuff. I don't dig into it. Like, I live in my four walls and I pretty much know nothing.
Well, I was kind of happy when you said it because it means like nothing negative, or I mean, negative seems to, nothing's being said about me. So, I mean, it just made me feel like, okay, well, yeah, I'm happy for that.
And honestly, if somebody has said something negative, I literally, I don't pay attention to it. Like, that's another thing.
See, there she is. She's bursting my bubble.
If your body, well, no, if you're taking in all this negative energy, I'm very much a bad person too. Like, you take in all this negative energy or stress, like, it's not good for your body either. So
yeah, yeah. That's why I wondered, like, if all of the stress of what happened that summer, if it led up, because I know that when I have flare-ups, it's usually when I'm going through a lot of stress. And so I know, like, stress is like, it's literally killing me. It's killing my body. So I know that a lot of women and men now too, we're all developing these autoimmunes, and we need to learn to relax. It has helped me to take better care of myself, because if I don't eat a certain way, then I feel horrible. Or if I don't exercise, I feel horrible. And I don't want to feel that way.
And I mean, I think the reason like I've turned to supplements and stuff like that is because you literally cannot get all the nutrition, especially as you get older. Like, you just can't. You physically cannot eat enough. And plus, our world has changed. Like, the soil has changed. Even fruits and vegetables, like, you can eat them and do all the things, but like, the world has changed so much that like what we're putting into our body makes a huge factor as to what our body is doing. And I'm not an expert at all. This is just what I've learned for me, and it's what works for me.
Right.
Well, I don't think any of us are experts. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes only, and it's just our research. And we always encourage our viewers to go out and do their own research and make your own decisions. This is just some options that we're presenting to you.
Right.
Yeah. And everyone has such different symptoms too. It was interesting because I reached out to Nickole when I got first diagnosed. Of course, you run to the internet to read everything about things. And I was on TikTok and I was just watching videos of people with like shaving their heads and all that. And I was trying to decide, do I shave my head or do I wait for it to fall out? And I came across Nickole and reached out to her and just started asking all these questions. And then like through treatment, I'm asking her like, did you have bad neuropathy? Like, it's
Do I
just,
still have
and I think
neuropathy
my
issues?
neuropathy, was so much worse because I have MS. I already have neuro issues that, no joke, you guys, a year ago at this time, I was in a wheelchair at the Mayo Clinic trying to figure out what was going on and reaching out to anyone on the internet that could maybe connect to my story because I felt so alone.
I mean, I think that's
How are you feeling now? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think that's part of the reason I was so open in sharing it, because there are so many people that don't talk about it and they do feel alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, how are you guys feeling now, both of you? Like, do you feel like your old selves again? Do you feel like, I know, like, especially like with the MS, my father has MS. Luckily, I'm extremely healthy, and I thank God. But my mom passed away when I was 17 from cancer. So I'm, adjacent to some of these things. But what I was wondering is, how do you, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I lost my thing. Just how do you get through it, I guess? You know what I mean?
I'll let you go first, Nickole.
Get through it in what sense?
I mean,
well, are you healthy? Have you been you're cancer free?
I'm cancer free. Actually, it's not a funny story. 5 years ago yesterday, I almost died because I almost bled to death after my breast cancer removal, but I'm fine. I'm in remission. I had checkups in February, did my mammogram, like everything's all clear. I'm healthy. I have a little bit of high cholesterol, but who doesn't this day and age? Again, things you put into your body, right? But yeah, no, I'm healthy and I'm just trying to live life. Like when you go through the things that you go through, some days you're just blessed that you woke up the next morning.
Yes.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
And you know what is a bigger blessing? Because when I was really sick, because I've had like a brain bleed. I've had all these things that come under the umbrella of my thing. And so I've also had to go into rehab to learn to walk and talk again when I had the stroke, or I've had some really bad MS flares. And people would say, well, at least you woke up. And I would be like, well, I mean, so what I'm grateful for is that I have the gratitude back. Like I didn't even have gratitude at a certain point in my life. Like, yeah, I'm alive, but is that anything? So what I'm grateful for is that I was able to reclaim my gratitude of life, because that's a horrible way to go through life, not being grateful. Did you ever feel like that, Nickole? Like you were just like, why am I like, but you had your whole
during my breast cancer that I remember crying in the shower wishing I was dead.
But you had your family all around you. That's really, that they were really supportive.
So my situation I think is a little bit different than a lot of other people's, because like you see, and it's not that we didn't help, so don't we didn't have help, so don't take it that way. But my breast cancer, like the heat of my breast cancer was during COVID. So it was me, my husband, Madison, and Jackson. Like Nicholas was there up until April, I think, of 2020. And then I actually made my son leave my house because he wouldn't abide by what we called our COVID rules, because I was getting ready to have surgery and all of these things. And if I would have got COVID at that point, it would have killed me. So I literally had to tell my 18-year-old son, like, I need you to leave my house. Like, if you can't abide by what we've set up to protect me, I was like, you got me for 18 years. Your brother and sister deserve to have that too. So yes, we had lots of support and there were a lot of people that did help us, but in reality, it was just me and my husband.
Oh,
I'm
that's
glad you
hard.
bring that up, Nickole,
It is hard.
because I'm going to admit something, and this is hard to admit. I struggled when I went through chemo because I expected people to react differently than they did. And it's not all like the movies. It is not the movies where the man's holding your hair back and you're puking in the hospital. There's moments where people are scared of you. They're scared because they don't know what to say, or they say the wrong things and it hurts your feelings. Like, Nickole, I'm sure people have said this to you. You're so strong. I couldn't do what you did. And you're like, well, I didn't have a choice.
Exactly. That
It was
right
either
there.
die
You do.
or go through chemo. So it's like very hard mentally because you're expecting everyone to come out in full force and help you, and that doesn't always happen. And I wish people would talk about that a lot more when it comes to going through it. And then to answer your question too, Rose, about, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am not 100% yet. There's days, I mean, I'll text Amy and I'm like, I can't get out of bed. I'm hurting. I can't feel the bottom of my feet. And then I get upset that I see all these other cancer survivors with their kids playing outside or going to field day, and I feel like a failure. And
Can I say something to that?
yeah,
That's their highlight reel, though. That's not reality. That's what
Yeah.
you're seeing. That they're showing.
you're right. And it's hard because, like, I feel like I should be further along. And I think that's where people come up with that term, your journey, which I always hated it, but now I understand it. Because
Because I mean, I'm 5 years out and I still have bad days.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the other thing that people don't talk about, aside from autoimmune disease, like they go hand in hand. Mental health, like moving across country and leaving everything I've ever known for the last 40 years of my life. I think for the 6 months, unless I went to the grocery store that we moved here to Tennessee. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm adjusting. It's beautiful here. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, everything's fine. But I didn't leave the house unless I had to take my kids to school or go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Just because, like, mentally you were just not in a good place to do it.
It was that and the fear. Which sounds silly. Like, what's there to be afraid of? But you have, and you have to like go people. Like, don't get me wrong, I love people, and I have people with a lot of people. But like, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And if you're already
People are exhausting anyway. People are exhausting these days, don't you think? I think they're getting even more exhausting, and somehow it just feels like safer to stay at home sometimes. But
Yes, it does.
That's an
And
understatement.
sometimes I'm like scared to go do things, like, because I have a lower immune system than other people, and I'm scared to get sick. And that sucks because I feel like I'm not living my life. But I think, like you said, Amy, I'm trying every day to wake up and have gratitude. I have gratitude that I am not in a wheelchair. I am breathing. I am able to, you know, even if it's a day where I have to sit on the couch and snuggle with the kids and watch TV, even though I want to like be active, at least I have that, because there's other people who don't have that.
that's true. You could have not survived your breast cancer, and then the kids wouldn't even have you to snuggle with. So
Yeah.
What stage were you again?
Yeah. It's 2. Oh, and that's what I wanted to bring up too.
what
is
stage were
the
you,
stages.
Nickole?
So mine was technically a stage. Originally, they diagnosed it as a stage 2 because I had the centimeter when they first found it was, or the mass when they first found it was 2 centimeters. By the time I started chemo, it had quadrupled in size, which was literally 2 weeks later. My growth factor though, and this is where I think a lot of people, like, you can't compare anybody's cancer. Like I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter if you have stage 1 or you have stage 4 or you're terminal, like you cannot compare your story to somebody else's. You just can't. What they go through is what they go through. But my growth factor was an 87%. So that's when I like jokingly say I wouldn't be here. I legit would not be here had I not found it.
Yeah.
Was it because of the hormones from giving birth? Was it accelerated because of that?
I honestly don't know. I never asked, if I'm being honest. It was HER2 positive, so it was not estrogen or progesterone. That's not what was growing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask a quick question?
Her and I have the same type. Yeah.
I was just curious, how do you guys what do you do to get through the hard days when you're not feeling good, and like those stretches where it's like the hard times? Is there anything or any advice that you could give to other people? Hey, I like to read a book, even if I could just go outside, or because that'll work with people who have mental illness struggles. You know what I mean? Like, I just want people to know, and I'm so proud of both of you for being fighters and doing as well as you are and everything. But just is there one thing that you guys did to help yourself or just give you a break? Movies, anything to escape?
I use my children a lot.
Kids keep you busy.
Well, and I had a baby. So like when people ask me how'd you get through it, I didn't have a choice. Like there wasn't an option. Were there days that I wanted to give up? Yes, absolutely. Were there some days that I still want to give up? Yes, but at the end of the day, I tell myself I can only control my four walls and what's going on in my four walls. It doesn't matter what Rose or Amy or Jennifer, anybody says about you. You can only control what's going on in your four walls. And that's probably the biggest struggle because it's mind over matter, right?
Yeah. And that's hard.
And there are legit days. It's embarrassing, and it shouldn't be embarrassing. And this is like Amy and I just did a live about this the other day about, the whole Gypsy Rose and not shaming people for mental health and taking medicine if they need to. But there were several days where I was in so much pain from the chemo that I did want to die. And I know that sounds terrible, you guys, because I have two little ones to live for. But the pain was so hard.
Well, I think it's hard. Like I've told people, I almost in a way think it's harder on your family in a way than it is. Like you physically are going through it, but they're watching you go through it, and they can't fix it. They can't do anything to speed it up. They can't slow it down. They're just stuck in purgatory with you.
Yeah.
Was there anything you could do for your pain?
Nothing really helps. I mean, they prescribe you gabapentin, oxycodone. They did prescribe methadone. That's something Amy and I talked about. Methadone is also, just want to throw this out here as a public service announcement. Methadone is not just coming off of opiates. It is a pain management drug as well. There's Belbuca. I mean, I go to a pain clinic because it's so bad, but nerves are hard to treat. And that's really what gets damaged. I mean, like with chemo, it destroys everything in your body, wipes everything out. So even the good, you
lost your fingernails?
So like even the good
stuff. Yeah. So chemo attacks all of the cells in your body, and it attacks the fastest growing cells first. So that's why you lose your hair. I lost my fingernails. It was actually quite disgusting, and it was probably the thing. Like you would think it would have been my hair. The day, I think I told Jennifer this, the day my hair, because she was asking, what do I do? And I'm like, it's a decision you have to make for yourself. At that time, my hair was probably about the same length it is now, if not a little bit longer. And I had scheduled an appointment to get it cut shorter. But then I had my second dose of Red Devil, and they literally, to the day, they said, by your second treatment, you're probably going to lose your hair. Well, it started literally while I'm sitting there. I went like this, and their hair was everywhere.
Oh, yes. I'm just thinking about it. And it's like on your pillows and everything.
Yeah. And like now, even when I have PTSD from it. Cause like even now, when you're showering in the shower and you can feel little hairs, so what happened was I went and got in the shower like a couple days after that treatment, and it was already coming out, but I had an appointment scheduled. So I was like, it's fine. I can make it till whatever day it was. It was like literally 3 days later. Me and my husband got one of the biggest fights we had gotten in our treatment because I'm like, no, I'm going and I'm going now. Like I couldn't do it because my hair started to come out, and then when I washed it, it was coming out in such at a such fast pace that it like all matted and was stuck right at my shoulders. So it was just this big matted mess, and I freaked out. But then my nails are like. My nails were my thing. Like, I know a lot of people think it's my hair. It's not. It was my nails. And my nails still aren't the same. I use press-on nails and cover them up because they still have not recovered from the chemo. Like, they're nails, but they're very brittle and peel, and they crack, and they do all the things, especially if I don't keep them covered. And if I don't keep them covered with something, and I can't do acrylics, and I can't do, like, I've tried all of the things. But I end up using
it
press-ons.
damages them more if you do the gel or the acrylics. It's like, because that's what I tried too, Nickole. I'm like, maybe I can like hide them. And some people, this didn't happen to me, but I had friends who like had toenails fall off. Their nails were falling off or turning different colors too.
Yeah, mine turned black, and then they started oozing, and then they like disconnected. They didn't fully fall out, but they like disconnected from the nail bed. So you know how you have like your tip of your nail where it's white, that's not connected. It went like literally all the way down to almost my cuticle. So I would keep Band-Aids on them to keep them like down. So because if I caught them on something or something like that, it was so painful.
How long did it take before they started growing back normally, or are they still not normal?
I mean, they're normal now in the sense of the word normal. They look like a normal nail if I'm not wearing something on them, but probably like, I want to say 4 or 5 months, just because, you have to go through the growth process of it growing out, and it had to reattach itself. But even there's some, like I have one of my fingers and my toes did it. And I don't even know, they said sometimes it happens to people, sometimes it doesn't. Why it happened, I have no idea, but it literally was like, that was probably one of the things that I distinctly remember and was one of the worst things for me. Because like I said, my nails were like my jam. That was the one thing I did for myself all the time, was take care of my nails.
Where do you get your press-ons now, if you don't mind me asking?
So I use a couple different companies, but my favorite one is I Am Pressed. It's Kiss, that brand.
Yeah.
And then I don't use glue or anything like that. They last about a week. They're just literally pull and stick.
I like those better than sitting in the salon anyways, And
they're cheaper. I mean, I get a cheaper nails.
God,
every week and a half, and they're cheaper than going and getting your nails done. I will say though, I do go and get a pedicure every single month. That's my one thing, because
I want pedicure. I need a pedicure for the summer.
Me too.
But yeah, the nails were
it's like important to do the self-care things.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, when you were talking about the hair, I was like you just said, when you're in the shower, it starts falling out, and it's just like you could literally put it on the on the shower, and it's just all there. And the visual of it is so scary that then I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut it short so that it's not so traumatic when I do it. And I reached out to like the former news station I worked at. My husband still works there. And we did like a story on it.
Aww.
And it was like, cutting my hair and going through the emotions of it. And then I was like embarrassed because 2 days later, I couldn't take it anymore. And I went to the barbershop and we shaved it all off. And then I messaged my old coworker.
I went and got mine cut.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I went and got mine cut. And
how many days
later? It was like 2 or 3 days later.
Yes. And I was like embarrassed because yes, it does. It's like a bruising feeling when it starts to fall out. And I was embarrassed because like I messaged my old coworker and I was like, I know you're gonna run the story Friday, but I've already shaved my head off. And I was like, do you want pictures of it? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I said, I think maybe the moral of the story is do what you feel is best for you. And if it was 2 days later that I couldn't take it anymore, shave it off and do it. Don't worry about what other people think about you.
Is your guys' hair better than it was before? Like, did it grow back thicker? Because both of you have amazing hair. I just have to say it. I've said that about Nicole's hair several times. But
mine's coming along, but Nickole, yours is like so.
So I take collagen. Collagen helps amazingly with hair growth. I also take a hair, skin, and nails supplement because of just trying to help it. But collagen, I would contribute most of it to the collagen because it grew like wildfire. Mine is
I need that.
the same but different. Like I've always had really thick, fine, lots of hair, but it was very fine. Same thing. However, my hair growing up as a child, it was stick straight. And now this is braids. I had my hair in braids, but it's got so much wave back here that it's ridiculous. And if you go back and look at like pictures as it was growing out, it was curly. That was all natural. So like it's got a lot of wave to it now. And I've heard from a lot of people that like that happens with chemo, I don't know whether that's true or not true, but yeah, I definitely have a lot more wave. But then there's curly in my family. So who knows what the truth is.
I totally believe it. When I had my last son, my hair got a wave in it and it was stick straight before. It's amazing what your body can do to react to things, you know?
Yeah, to like medications and hormones. It's insane.
Yeah. My grandmother died of breast cancer, and I always have thought about like if I were to lose my hair, I would start shaving designs into my head first before I started to shave my head off, you know, like shave one side and do a little like sun or some kind of design and then like slowly take it from there.
That's actually what I did.
Design.
Did you?
I did. It was like a flower on the side. I really wanted to do planets because my son, he's 6 and he's on the spectrum. I'm a big autism advocate, just so everyone knows if you're new here. He loves the solar system and loves planets. And I thought if I could get, a planet in there, maybe it would make him feel more. I was so nervous. I don't know about you, Nickole, but I was nervous how my kids were going to react to my head shave. And so I wanted to like do something fun, but I couldn't find someone talented enough to do the planet. So I did a flower. But when I came home, you guys, I was in tears because my daughter was like, Mom, I love your hair and I love your flower and your hair is going to grow back just like the flower. And I was like,
that's the sweetest.
Yeah. Because it was hard to explain to them like what was going on. I didn't want to scare them because they were too young really to understand. But also like every time I had chemo, I would go away and like rent a VROB or go to my mom's house in Michigan because I didn't want them to see me at my worst. I think
my
it's
kids were with me
traumatizing.
the whole time. Madison actually went to chemo treatments with me sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question. How did you include your children in this? Because it must be terrifying for the children too.
I mean,
because like my grandma died of breast cancer and my dad he wasn't a child, he was 17, but I mean that did something to him. And so how did you prepare your children for this?
I mean, Madison, I think, was already like in a way prepared because of the hyperemesis. Like the infusion center that I went to when I was pregnant with Jackson for my hyperemesis is the same one that did my chemo. So we had already built a relationship with the chemo nurses. And they treated her like she was a little queen. They would always like set up her little table for her and they'd have her coloring book and her crayons. And then she would get to order lunch, which she thought was amazing. Like it was like I guess it was fun. I mean, it wasn't fun, but it was fun for her. So it wasn't like strange, which I know not everybody's that blessed. And when COVID happened, then that like she couldn't go with me anymore. But like, I just didn't treat it differently. Like I tried to act and treat them the same way that I was treating them before. I think the ones that took it the hardest was Joey and Nicholas.
Because they understood it more.
Yeah. And they were scared.
Yeah. And Nicholas shaved his head. His hair was longer than mine, and he shaved his head before mine fell out.
He actually had a really cool haircut going on, so he did something there for you.
Yeah, he did. He was like, no, you're keep on by yourself. I'm like, don't cut your hair.
Yeah. There's something I want to share with, I know Olga is in our chat right now, you guys, and she is going through breast cancer right now. She just had her double mastectomy. And that's the interesting thing is depending on what stage you're at is how they decide to treat you. For me, and I think for you, Nickole, they did chemo first because they want to blast the shit out of the cancer so that it doesn't continue to grow. And then some people like Olga got the surgery done first and then is going through chemo. So it's, they kind of decide, each doctor differently decides how they're going to tackle it. But Olga does have young children, and I wanted to share this. A lot of people don't know. Mattel has these Barbies, and I wish I had a screen capture, but I just thought of it now.
I wish they would.
They're cancer Barbies, and
that's a
they
new thing.
put wigs on.
I love
Have you
Barbies.
seen these?
I have, but I didn't know about them when I was little.
That's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just love Barbies.
Well,
me too.
Mattel gives them out for free. So, if
Oh,
you
I
are
love Mattel.
going through breast cancer, I ordered 2 of them, and when it came, I just kind of had a conversation with my daughter, and I was like, you know, mom's sick, and if you notice, you know, like mom's wearing wigs, that's why. And then like you put like the wigs on the Barbie and all that. And it was just like a really great way to explain to them what's going on, not to scare them, maybe normalize it. But anyone who wants these, I don't think you have to prove your diagnosis, but
Can you
they
imagine
do give them out for free.
getting those? Okay, sorry.
No,
just
they
the
are.
thought.
And you know what? I'm looking at it. Someone's selling it on eBay, and I just think that's ridiculous. Like, why are you selling it on eBay? I don't know, but it's meant for cancer survivors. It's also for like nurses and doctors, so that they can have them in the waiting rooms and things like that, which is really cool. But they give them away for free, which is awesome.
That's a good teaching tool. That's huge.
Yeah. Yes.
I think they give us a coloring book and then like a book to read to them. I'd have to go back. I'm sure I have it in a tote somewhere with all of that stuff. But Madison, I know Madison had a coloring book. So.
Well, and can I just say, both of you, I had a parent who passed away when I was 17. She was sick before that. And she didn't try to heal herself. She didn't try to get surgery. She didn't try to do anything. And I just think it's important to tell both of you that I'm really proud of you for fighting.
Thank you.
Because your kids are seeing that example. And the fact that you fought for your life really is a labor of love to your children, most of all. So I just wanted to thank you guys for doing what you had to do to survive, because it's easier just to quit. You know, when things get hard, it's easier to quit. But thank you for fighting your asses off. And Olga, I'm praying for you.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm making a little care package for Olga. There's some really cool things out there. Like there's tattoo eyebrows. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I used them and they were like badass during when I lost all my hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need them now.
Are the actual tattoos?
Well, they won't work. They're temporary tattoos. I actually, in my YouTube video list, I did an example of putting them on while I have eyebrows, and they don't look good. But if you shaved your eyebrows and had them on, or like when we had no hair on our eyebrows, they work amazing. But they don't work so well if you already have hair. I'm just
So
checking on
that's
the
the other
chat
thing. I
too.
had decent eyebrows before cancer, and now I have I feel like it's my grandmother being like, haha, you picked on me for however many years because she would never leave the house without lipstick or her eyebrows. And sometimes I'd have to help her put them on, like pencil them in. And now if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have eyebrows.
I hardly have any. These are like colored in, and you could barely see that I have them at all.
I'm losing my tails of my eyebrows.
I don't know why that goes first. Like I have a pretty good coverage right here, but like from the middle down, it's gone. And they're
That's
like
because that's where we plucked in the 90s. Over
what it is?
plucking.
I did.
That's what I did.
Like Pamela Anderson, I kind of feel bad for her and her eyebrows. But that was so in back then.
Have you guys heard of I'm gonna have to go get the link. I'm in a breast cancer group, but it's called the Hope Box. I'll get you the link and you can post it. Yeah, this is one of my favorite tumblers, but it came out of that. And if you are if you have breast cancer or you're a survivor, you just go to their link and they send you this cool little box, and it's got, I think there was like a headband, some fuzzy socks, the tumbler, some chapstick. But
mine
that's a cool
had eyebrows in it. Yeah, chapstick. I got a tumbler. Yeah, I'm going to show a picture of it real quick. Also, I wanted to mention something. I threw up on the screen some nonprofits to donate to. And something a lot of people don't know is your local hospital actually should have a social worker to help you if you need any help with, your bills or anything, mental health, anything you need help with. And I feel like a lot of people think about Susan G. Komen first thing, just because they advertise so much. But to be honest, they only give someone $500. And everyone should be grateful for the 500, but I think there's this misconception that they give more to people going through chemo and breast cancer than they really do.
A lot of the places you donate to are mainly for research. I actually, though, and I'm going to ask her before I completely throw her out there. One of my chemo nurses, she has opened her own business. It's called the Beacon Light, and she actually will help people that are diagnosed navigate the system, because I don't know if you can say this, Jennifer, but I know that when I got my diagnosis, I remember sitting in the room and them telling me everything, and you hear the first 30 seconds and then you don't hear the rest of it. I literally looked at the doctor after she told me everything, and I was like, do I need to go home and plan my funeral? That was my question. Yeah. And she was like, my situation is a little bit different because of what happened. Previously to that, I was very much I just need to know what I need to do to survive. That's all I need to know. I don't need the antics, and I don't need to be emotional with you, and I don't need you to hug me. I just need to know what I need to do for my children, because if I'm going to die, then obviously the plan's going to be a little bit different than if I'm not. And I had a 40% survival rate. I mean, I beat the odds, but not everybody's that lucky. But my friend, her name's Megan, and if she's okay with it, I'll get you all of her information. But she started a business called the Beacon of Light, and she actually helps people navigate through it. And actually, they tell you, oh, your stage blah 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 and this, and you're like, what does that even mean? I have no idea what this means. But she'll actually help explain it to you. She has people who will go to doctor's appointments with you. She'll help you find assistance with stuff. It's amazing what she has done with it, and she's probably one of the reasons I'm here, because I love.
Is she in a particular state, or because I know there's Colorado? Colorado. Okay, because there's a woman here in Florida that I met that I was trying to find something on Nextdoor, and I somehow got wrapped up with her, and she is not getting her medications from the pharmacy, and I was out and about, and she asked, I was like, I'll pick them up for you, and they were narcotics and all these things. And I'm just like, it scared me for this woman because she didn't know me. And she's just letting people pick up her medications, but she needs her medications. And now she's like going through an eviction, and she messaged me, and I gave her some numbers to call. But any more information I could give her, I would love to help her. I don't know what to do for her, though.
I think what I would like to do is, after we wrap this up, do a post, and we can kind of include all of the resource links.
Good
I know
idea.
here at the hospital I went to was Gwinnett Medical Center here outside of Atlanta. You'd have a caseworker, and also you could call an Uber, and they paid for
She
it to
doesn't.
take you to
I don't
and from
understand.
treatment.
She doesn't. I
Yeah,
don't understand. And I don't understand why her doc, but I don't want also, I'm sick too. I can't like get too involved. Like I can't, like I'm an ex-social worker. I want to pick up the phone and be on the phone with her doctor, but I can't. I've also got to like let it work itself out.
Yeah. But there's resources, that if you don't know about them, they're out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I really had a strong relationship. And then also, like, don't be afraid to talk to people when you are in the waiting room. I mean, of course you want to keep your health stuff private, but I met one of my best friends when we were getting our blood drawn together, and she helped me get through some of my hardest days, because for me, my breast cancer was a total surprise. I was dealing with my autoimmune back pain, and I said to myself, I'm going to get a breast reduction and see if that helps my back pain. And so a part of that is a normal regular mammogram, just to get one. And then they called me back on a Monday without an appointment. I went by myself, and they told me I had cancer. And like you said, Nickole, like, you just zone out. And I'm like, I'm here all by myself. And I did not expect that. Like, I was here to go talk about getting a breast reduction. And, the surgeon was like, no, you're okay. And the surgeon's like, well, you're going to get a reduction, but a different type. And he was like, you have cancer. And I think I want to say one other extra thing that it comes at the top of my mind. I was not a fan of my oncologist. I stuck with him out of fear.
To say.
And never, ever feel that you don't have the right to another opinion or a third opinion. Because I went and got other opinions.
Good for you.
And I found out they should have lowered my chemo dose. Yeah. And it's too late. The damage is done to my nervous system. But I learned you guys have the power to decide, am I going to do this treatment? Like they talk about white coat syndrome. It's real. You feel stupid because you don't have a medical degree, but if you have an intuition that something's wrong, speak up, get a second opinion, ask questions, and don't be scared, of this doctor or nurse because they have a degree and you don't.
That's great advice.
We got 3. So here's my advice, and then I'll probably hop off. But my advice is, if you go to an appointment, record it. Just ask the doctor, because you're going to forget things. Somebody's going to ask you a question. Your mom, dad, sister, brother, whoever, your best friend, your husband are going to ask you questions. You're not going to remember it all. And you might not remember it all. And you can go back and listen to it later. If you think of a question in between appointments, keep it in your notes in your phone, write it down, or text it to a friend and be like, hey, I'm just texting this to you so I remember to ask the next time I go in. And then the other thing is, you can fire your doctor. The doctor that gave me my diagnosis is not the doctor that went through my journey with me. She put my port in and that was it.
Wow.
Like, after that, we found a new doctor, because mine was speed to treat and I needed the port in so I could start chemo. Loved my oncologist, but I did not like my surgeon, and she is not the one that actually ended up in the end with us. So definitely interview, ask the questions, and advocate for yourself.
Absolutely. That's great advice.
Yeah, no matter whether it is cancer or autoimmune disease, I think you all got to listen to your intuition and ask questions and don't be scared to go get other opinions, for sure.
I remember my ex-mother-in-law had a little hottie for an oncologist. I would take her and I'd be like, are we going to go see the hottie?
So my
My
plastic
surgeon was good looking, so it was fun to go see him. I'm not gonna lie. I even told my husband, I was like, I just want to let you know my surgeon's hot.
my plastic surgeon, I swear this doctor, they're the only doctors that can say this. Every time I would go in and he would like check things, he'd be like, show them to me. And I'm like,
Happily.
no, get away with doing that.
I used to joke, I'm like, someone else has seen these already before you have. Like, technically, he made them, he built them. But I am so glad that you guys we came together, and I hope we can do this again. And
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
talk more about other topics. I hope like we can keep in contact and come up with other topics. And I just want to bring up really quick everybody's
Can I ask one question before? Do you watch the behavioral channel, Nickole?
If I'm being honest with you, I don't watch any TV.
Okay.
Everything I watch is like on Netflix or Hulu or something. After everything happened, I just couldn't because too many things would pop up and be triggering. So like we don't have cable. I don't watch the news. Yeah.
Just one of the behaviorists is going. He has a brain problems, and he's taking the methylene blue. And I just was wondering, have you heard anything about the methylene blue? No. Okay. All right. Then never mind.
And then as far as like the neuropathy, I just want to touch on this too. I didn't take any type of pain stuff because
I don't know how you did.
Jackson. Like I look back on it now and don't know how I did it some days, I'm not gonna lie. But I literally I tried it for the first week after my first treatment and I couldn't function and I had a newborn. So I made the choice, and I want to say it was probably like 6 months in because the neuropathy had gotten so bad. Being honest, I lived in the great state of Colorado. I started eating gummies.
Yeah.
But it was literally just to sleep. Like I would eat one before bed so that I could sleep because that was the other issue. The neuropathy, I cannot talk, was so bad that I couldn't sleep. So like I didn't take any of the things that they prescribed because in my brain I couldn't do it and function for my children. I would have rather been in pain than not being coherent. And a lot of those drugs make you that way.
Yes. Well, that happened to me. I'm not a cancer survivor, but because of my MS and fibromyalgia, I went down the road of, they had me on the fentanyl patch. They had me on morphine. I had tried all these other drugs, and it was actually getting to the point where it was making me bedridden. So now I am a team MM patient and I microdose. And it saved my life.
Yeah. And I also want to mention, like, I know in some states it's not legal, but THC and in Colorado it's legal, right, Rose? For
yes.
I mean, it's
not even shrooms medical, are legal too.
Yeah. I microdose legally in Florida, so it is legal.
The smoke shop sells shrooms right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm too scared to try shrooms, but I do like the THC gummies.
Well, I do the ketamine. It's not shrooms, it's ketamine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Whether you're
it's a company, a joyous company that I go through.
To get high or you're doing it for like other reasons. Does that make sense? Like the dosage is
pain.
Yeah. It's not like when you're 18 watching Super Troopers with your friends, you know,
Exactly.
totally different.
Yeah.
I wish it were like that, but it's not.
I've heard that happens sometimes.
I mean,
well,
kids used to do that, right?
I went and bought some gummies when I was in Michigan, and it's called Indica. And I took one, and no joke, you guys, I was so paranoid. I thought someone was breaking in the house. And
that's the worst.
But, like, my mind was going crazy, and I go, I don't think these gummies are for me, so I'm not going to use these anymore. But what works for one person might work for another person for sure.
I got
So.
some gummies yesterday because I was in pain, and she keeps talking about these gummies. And so now I wanted gummies, and I was over on TikTok, and they're like, "Do you want to come up on a live?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry,
Like,
I can't."
That was not a good time. But yeah, also like CBD oil without THC, I feel like helps me a lot.
It's very
too.
helpful. It's very helpful.
Does it help with the pain, or what does it do to help?
Yes.
I'm just curious.
It helped me relax, and it helped me with pain. Nickole, have you ever tried CBD?
You can get it in different forms. So like a lot of it comes in like it's an oil, and you just drop it in your mouth like a dropper, like a medicine dropper. But you can get it where it's in like lotions and stuff, so that it's topical.
Yes.
Yeah. The topical did help with the tingling and the pins and needles from the neuropathy. I mean, just a little bit. It didn't fully help, but it took the edge off. So
nothing helps my neuropathy.
Nothing. I can't wait for like 20 years down the road. I hope they come up with something new to help. But I am going to be trying this new thing called IVIG, you guys, which could be like a whole nother live we talk about, where they put antibodies in your blood, and it's pretty much to teach your immune system to behave properly instead of attacking itself. So I'm going to be trying that in a couple weeks here. So
hear what the outcome on that.
Yeah. So
one great thing about the MS Society is that or like the MS groups or whatever, they are on it with the new technology and the new things coming out. My dad was on several things that were like being tested, and they are really working towards big leaps and bounds in that. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I went to the Mayo Clinic, you guys, and my brain exploded. It is a high tech operation there. It is amazing. I wanted to throw up here some of the fundraisers to donate to. Of course, St. Jude for, children's cancer research. And this was where I recommended breastcancer.org. I mean, go ahead and donate to Susan G. Komen, but I want you to know that the people being helped are only getting around $500. And some organizations give more. Lupusresearch.org and National MS Society. And then this last one is the fibromyalgia.org/donate. And I would directly donate to all of those. Please be careful. There's people that go online and say they're going to donate their proceeds and they don't. So
and if we want to order, if we want to order from Nickole, how are we going to do this?
It is going to go in the show notes. And then I think I'm going to do a post where we just recap everything we chatted about and put all of our resources in there. And then down below, you'll see everybody's screen names. If you want to subscribe and please do push everybody out into the algorithm, and hopefully us four can come back together and do another live stream soon.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me, and it was nice to meet both of you. Nice to see you as always, Amy, but nice to meet both of you.
Yes. Okay, we'll see you guys
soon.
Bye.
How exciting!